All right, thank you very much, Sarah. Well, have you ever had a bad roommate, or maybe you had a best friend you thought it'd be a good idea to be college roommates, and it didn't work out? Well, there's probably a reason. You need some good tips, and Dr. Misty Smith from convenienttherapy.com has some tips. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you too.
I don't know what your college experience was like. I had some rough roommates. It's because it's difficult sometimes living with somebody for the first time.
It is. I actually lived with my two best friends in college, and after a couple of months, we were all calling, begging to come home. So, and I think part of that was because we didn't actually talk about the things that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, and let's get into this now. So you talk about the simple ways to sort of alleviate some of the things that can come up. One is discussing daily routines, because some people can do things in their daily routines that get on the other's nerves.
Right. Well, if my friend is a night owl and I'm an early bird, what does that look like? I'm going to be angry, she's going to be angry. If I need 30 minutes in the bathroom in the mornings and she needs 2 hours, you know, I'm assuming when we move in together, everybody only takes 30 minutes to get ready. So all of those little nuances need to be addressed. So what time you wake up, what time you go to bed, what your bathroom routine is, what kind of groceries you want in the house, when you eat, when you don't, how often you want to go out during the week. So a lot of those things need to be talked about.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff that you go through, these roommate situations actually helps prepare you for marriage, I would think.
Most definitely.
But now, what about having, like, if it's a guy having a girlfriend over, and she's just over too much, or a girlfriend has a boyfriend over just too much? Right,
and that's another thing that you need to address is how often you are going to have house guests. What that looks like, if you're going to allow opposite gender house guest, if your roommate's actually comfortable with that. Some people aren't comfortable with that situation.
All right, the other thing you talk about is recognizing your need for time apart. So, you know, I guess what you're saying is, look, you don't have to do everything together just because you're rooming together, right?
Well, as best friends, most of the time we want to spend all of our time together, especially if we don't have a significant other. But when we're rooming together, we are together all of the time. So do we still need to have movie night when we're already watching TV together 7 days a week? Do we still need to go out every Friday night if we're already seeing each other and hanging out together all of the time? So I think that's one of the big issues. And then there is the, are you going to have an open door policy in your bedroom? Is it just always open for your best friend to come crash on your bed and chat about her weekend? Or do you sometimes need just some me time? Because I think that's really important.
Maybe a sign on the door that says knock first is a good idea. All right, so talk about chores and bills. Now this is an issue. I mean, who's going to pay what? Make sure who's going to be cleaning. Some person may be a neat freak, the other may be kind of messy.
Right. So, when it comes to bills are easy. Part of them anyway. You talk about sharing the rent, you split it down the middle. You talk about who's paying the cable bill. Well, what if I don't watch cable? So I don't need a TV, I don't want a TV, why should I pay half of that? If I use my cell phone for everything, why should I pay for a landline? So these are just little things.
And again, getting this out front, ahead of it.
Right, exactly. You talk about these things before you commit and sign a lease. And chores, who's going to clean what? When are you going to clean? Is your roommate a complete messy person? And you're going to be living in a pigsty.
All right, finally, real quick as we wrap up, you got to resolve arguments you're going to have, and what's the best way to do that?
Right. So just like when you're in a relationship, you're living with this person now. So your communication is going to change significantly. So talk about how you're going to resolve arguments. Talk about the need for open communication and not avoiding communication. If you have a problem, touch on it immediately. Don't wait until you have so much anger built up, you're just ready to throw them out.
All right, Dr. Misty Smith, hope those tips help you out. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, JJ's up next.